What's up? If there's any wrestling fans out there who are awake the day after AEW All In, very likely the greatest show in the history of wrestling until the next AEW show, according to fans and critics, but whatever. I watched about 3 minutes of it. Wasn't really a fan of much. I watched the Casino Battle Royal. I mean, I just love it's like
Yeah,
their Rumble, you know what I mean?
yeah. Give
And
me.
that's where they had Ricochet come out. I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, did they? I was wondering if where he'd end up. It doesn't surprise me. He's
And
a flippy wrestler, so it's kind of more at home there in
yeah, I
AEW.
get. Let me just say, I get that it's a opening, it's a debut, but it's basically the Andre the Giant battle, memorial,
Oh,
that
okay.
thing. So it's like, I don't know. I thought it was a shitty way to friggin' put a guy into it. Whatever. Um, MJF lost. Hate that. Swerve lost. Felt like a pointless champion. Um, yeah, really don't have much to say about that other than, oh yeah, sorry. I just wanted to play this because this really made me laugh really hard. And then, sorry, we're going to get into this is Discuss TNA Impact Wrestling. But hang on. So this is Will Ospreay. Ready? You can't make it out. That's Will Ospreay screaming that Dave Meltzer was at the presser, which I swear to God, I just laughed for like 10 straight minutes almost because, like, imagine, Gary, you're a movie guy. Imagine an actor winning, I don't know, well, at a presser, calling out a reviewer, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like cheering for them. Like, has that ever happened? Have you ever seen anything like that?
Uh, I
It would
mean,
be,
I know actors have won like awards, and then they'll shout out the director's name, but I don't think they,
yeah, the director, not a,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
director,
yeah,
not a fucking, all right, whatever. That just,
yeah,
it just makes me angry. I feel like it makes them small, makes them feel small. And okay, whatever.
yeah.
This is TNA. This is a TNA talk. Whatever the fuck. Discuss TNA. I'm Jason, back with Gary. If anyone out there pays attention, I'm taking a little break from all distractions, doing it for a year straight, and yeah, I just need a little break before we re-up for next year or don't, whatever. Okay, so TNA news. Got a few things here. First off, important information regarding YouTube insiders. According to TNA staff, fuck you, you're done. On Friday, August 30th, we'll be sunsetting our YouTube Insiders membership, and it will no longer be available. The hell's sunsetting? Timing
So
is everything.
that,
This is the best time to be a TNA subscriber at any level. In the next month, for $9.99, monthly subscribers can watch Emergence this Friday, Victory Road, and check this out. If you lock in with the 2025 World Champion Annual Plan, you get Bound for Glory for free.
isn't that the package? It's like a couple $100. So
I just I
you
just
know what I
clicked
mean?
hang on, I just clicked on it. That is only
Uh,
$220 a year. What?
yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
that is
no,
some
they
great deal.
go the bound. You said Bound for Glory next year, right?
Well, no, this is
So if you,
this year's bound.
but
If you sign up now
yeah,
for next year's 2025, which I mean, good news, TNA is going to be around in 2025. Like if you lock into that one, if you sign up for next year's for a year, so I guess you got to give them 220, you get Bound for Glory for free. Wait, no.
I
I don't
mean,
think, I don't think, I don't think they know what the word free is because you're paying $220.
well, yeah, I definitely see that for sure. But like, I mean, I guess it's a,
If
I
you
guess if
count
you,
every,
yeah, I mean, I
I mean,
guess, but
10,
like,
10, 10 specials for $10 is $300. To be fair.
yeah, that's fair. And then like that is like a very expensive show. I think it runs like $39.95 or
Yeah, I was
some
gonna say
shit.
that's not counting Bound for Glory. And what is it? 4 big shows a year that are probably $40.
Yeah,
So
the full ones. Yeah.
you're basically, I mean, yeah, okay, it's a better deal than I thought. Okay, that's pretty cool. Um,
But I mean, to
wait,
have it up front,
yeah.
might want to save it at least until like February or something, like so
Okay,
you're not paying.
before I forget this, because we have some news and stuff, but I keep looking at TNA YouTube numbers, and they've been awful. Kind of similar to our views lately, and like it totally adds up. Like again, for last week, and I think these are two matches with NXT guys. Who will fill the final spot for the return of Ultimate X? 12,000 views. Jonathan Gresham locks up with NXT's Charlie Dempsey, 18,000 views. The Kushida Hammerstone Kazarian triple threat, 21,000 views. These are 3 days old. Alicia and Rosemary, 20,000. PCO, 40,000. And then the Hardys, 180,000, which it looks like everyone is just watching the friggin' main event. Last week, 270,000 for the main event. And it's almost the exact same thing. 20,000 for
Well,
pretty much almost everything else. So what the hell is going on? Everyone is
well,
buying. People are buying tickets more than ever. So
yeah.
what the hell's it like? I don't know. Like the
Well,
shows are just off, and I mean I've seen a lot of complaints, and I totally agree. Like the divisions, like they're kind of every division is a disaster, pretty much.
yeah. Well, my take, Jay, is lately I've been doing like searches for like TNA news, like before we go to air, and it's like always about something that's TNA related, but it's
Yeah,
not the best of news. Like with the Scott news coming out of nowhere about him talking about how he was let go by them, and then this week we had unfortunate news that Rich Swann has been suspended
yeah, I forgot
indefinitely
about that. Yeah.
because he's I guess he was intoxicated and was arrested. So big good move by TNA to nip it in the bud before it gets out of control.
See, I had written down somewhere that they were facing the tag champs at Emergence. Was that ever
Oh, okay.
announced? Did I make that
No,
up? I don't know.
no. I did see somebody on
Okay.
Asylum. They had said that they had big plans for First Class.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
they might have been winning the friggin' titles this Friday.
oh
Fucking
no,
fucking
okay.
Swan, man, come on. So I
Yeah.
wonder who. I don't know who. Maybe the Rascal. I don't think the Rascals have a match for Emergence. Oh wait, no.
No.
Wentz is in the.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they can give someone else a chance on the card that
Man,
ordinarily wouldn't.
Jesus, I didn't realize that Swan thing fucking up the tag division now. Jesus. Okay, so
Yeah.
the tag division's a mess. The knockouts division is good lord. Put them together. I'm sorry, you have to get rid of the tag division. There's nothing less else at this point. I've been saying it for like ever since they got rid of it. Ever since they got these things, and when they got them, they had like 12 knockouts. Now
Well,
there's what, four?
and everybody like I don't know yeah, there's something like that, but like it seems like every time TNA tries to introduce an extra title, it's like cursed. It's like they don't ever. It was back like when Devon was a TV champion. He was doing good. He was defending it on TV, and
Yeah.
then I can't remember he had lost it at the time, and then they put it on somebody else, and then it just like started going back to Curseville all over again.
Speaking of news that is kind of related to Impact, Tessa talked about I guess I don't know. She basically had a breakdown like after all the women came out against her after she won the title, and she had to drop it, and she pretty much lost her fucking mind. Like I got to the top, and I didn't even get a second to breathe before it was all taken away from me, and yeah, it's pretty fucked up, especially compared to the things going on in the world. People doing cocaine right out in the open and stuff like that. Someone says something racist when they're 17 or whatever the fuck it was. Whatever. So she talked about who runs an 8-month program and people actually care. Sammy Callahan and I did. It was huge, and I learned so much working with him back. But that locker room and my dad, blah blah. So not much there. I would love to see her back. I don't know what the fucking deal is, but supposedly they
Well, at
talked.
this
Maybe we
point,
read that
Jay,
they talked.
yeah, and at this point, Jay, I mean, she'd be a hell of an addition just because of the status of the way the knockouts are kind of become an afterthought as of late.
Yeah, we've been saying it for too long. I can't even get excited. Like with Allie, Robles and I have been talking about Allie returning for what must be a year or over now. It's just
Yeah,
like I keep getting mad at why won't this happen? Like why won't this person come back? Why won't this do they not see that there's no goddamn women anymore? It's just but whatever. We'll get to that in a minute. One more thing: Maple Leaf Pro Scott DeHore's new promotion. They just announced a 2-night first show. First off, I mean, what the fuck? Who do you think you are, bro? What are you, WrestleMania, motherfucker? A 2-night fucking show, and
yeah,
it's going to be, um, oh great, they already ruined it, kind of. The main event is Josh Alexander versus Konosuke Takeshita, who is a really good wrestler but has no character, kind of similar to Josh. Sorry, Josh lovers out there. Um, but yeah, I think you said something like he's two timing or whatever. So now I'm gonna have to. This is making me rethink my Josh is going to appear on NXT.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because it sounds like Scott is. Well, if you missed it, look up Scott interviews from this week. Anyone? He talked about how the AEW deal was basically better than the WWE deal. So you can kind of see like all different things that we're learning now. Like Scott was an AEW guy. Scott is an AEW guy. He loves good matches. He's boring. He's not good at creative. And like he just, he wants that's what he wants to be, and you can already see it. Alexander versus Take a Shit. That's like a fucking AEW main event. That I would never, I would not. You couldn't pay me to. Yeah, you could pay me to watch that match. But other than money, I'm not going to watch the match. And who else? Raj Desi, Jinder Mahal, who will do any independent right now. Kylie Ray, same thing. She'll do any independent right now if she get paid. Kushida and others. Others. Giselle Shaw is one of them. Not even mentioned here by Raja.com. Pretty messed up. Guess he's a transgender hater or something. Maybe you should all look into that. They also put a little video out on YouTube. Shit. Forged an Excellence logo reveal. Yeah, that ain't that good. It ain't that good. Didn't need a fucking YouTube video for that. Okay. That's about everything. And time for the review, I guess. August 22nd. Any quick thoughts from you?
oh, heading into the opening match or
Or
just on the
just
show?
on the episode in general?
Uh, it was pretty good here and there. It was a little bit more consistent this week because we had the really good match between what's his name, the NXT guy and Jonathan Grisham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
I
pretty
think
alright
it's,
show. It
here's,
wasn't great. It
here's
was very
Thompson. Look at my match ratings. It doesn't look like a bad show, but I was not enjoying it very much until the main event and closing segments. There was some questionable booking and storylines division. Sometimes TNA treats fans like they're stupid. The Swann segment and SDL teaming up against her husband booking are examples of part of this. I guess I missed that. Why the hell would she be going against? Wait, so Delander went against PCO?
uh, well, yeah, yeah, the way I think it was, she was with what's his name, Cardona, and then was it with
Okay,
they had
Zia Rhino and PCO versus Steph Cardona. Yeah, why? I mean, first of all, why that fucking? Why would you put
well, I
Rhino?
mean, there was a lot of bickering and her
Yeah,
yelling
I mean,
at,
I get. Okay, yeah, okay. So
yeah. But
So heel Cardona made the match.
yeah, but my
Mhm.
thing is, Jay, I've seen this before. I've seen this so many times, like where they try to make like the Delanders of the wrestling world act like they're in love with this other character or this other wrestler, and
Yeah,
then they turn around and then they backstab like PCO. You know what I mean? Like
I
I
mean,
think
this isn't like. I mean, I can
that,
see if they set it up to be backstabbed, but like they put them in
yeah,
the match against each other. But I mean, whatever. That's just Cardona being a dick, I guess.
yeah.
And I gotta say, it was nice seeing Madman Fulton back.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it kind
Always
of made
like.
me excited about the prospects of putting him with Khan. Like we do need a big one of
Well,
them really
well,
tough.
he did take the pin, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. This is the one-off. Um, I don't know. I don't like Zia being involved in this. I feel like she's like one of the only good knockouts they have, like that's being pushed, or was. And now they just stick
yeah.
her in this.
They did kind of give her a bit of a Rosemary side because she did. She bit. Was it Khan's finger or was it Matt? I think it was Khan's finger. So she's kind of pissed off at him at this point, and because I don't, he was kind of like shoving her around, which I was sort of surprised. He kind of threw her around pretty good, and I don't know. I just thought it was really cool to see a kind of
Oh
darker
yeah, no,
side.
yeah, yeah. I'm a fan
So,
of that. I love
so
like just women bumping for men, even if it sounds fucked up.
yeah.
Or like, but the other way around too. Like if Jordan, she can beat the shit out of some dude. Like it just makes it look awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
so skipping around. Sorry. Well, wait, hang on. So PCO, yeah, the faces. Well, kind of weird saying PCO is a face, but yeah, PCO Rhino and Zia won the match. I don't know what's going on with this other than PCO versus Cardona coming up.
Yeah,
Unless
I don't
it's
know.
tag team with maybe Zia turns with Cardona. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, I'm again like I kind of feel like this is a problem with the show. Like I think the kind of it's kind of like a mixed tag kind of thing going on, and it's like I don't know. I just am not have never been a big fan of the mixed tag. It just feels very WWE like, and
Yeah, I'm not a Cardona fan, so
yeah, I think that's my problem with this match. I think it would would have been like maybe a couple guys or whatever, and they women outside the ring or something like that, or
yeah.
whatever. That's been a
And
little
I mean,
better.
here's a great example: Alicia Edwards with Masha versus Rosemary. Okay, first off, Masha is the best wrestler out of those three, and it's not even close. And she wasn't wrestling.
Yeah,
Um, then sorry, where is it here? Tasha Steeles, Zia Brookside, um, even Steph Delander. Jesus, she lost a title shot against Jordan. Did she have a match after that? Like, what the hell?
yeah,
And they're pushing Rosemary after what, 20 fucking years? Like, she doesn't look good in the ring anymore. Like, it's
yeah.
maybe
It's
she have a
very
decent. And if you're gonna push her, you have her wrestle Alicia. I mean, again, no, not again. All due respect to Alicia, she's not a fucking. She's not gonna make someone look good.
well. And to be fair, I believe there was some chicanery to give Rosemary the win too,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Spitfire came down. It was a fucking 4 minute match.
Yeah,
Spitfire came down. It was a 4 minute match with
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Like
It was.
Rosemary shouldn't need that. Like, and that's like every. I don't know. I feel like it's just shit booking where like every fucking knockout is exactly the same outside of Jordan right now.
Yeah, I
Rosemary,
kind.
Tasha, Zia, fucking the dude. Uh, I forget her name. Giselle.
Well, I kind Jay, like it kind of felt like this like a companion piece to the like the short-lived show they had Wrestle House because the
Yeah.
match didn't last very long. It wasn't very memorable. I don't know. It
I
just
mean,
felt like thrown together just because we haven't seen it in a
and I
while.
think there was also maybe a time killer at the end of the summer, which we're also at right now.
Yeah, that could be.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the Rosemary stuff. I mean, God, I was the biggest Rosemary fan years ago. I would sing her goddamn song all the time. I just like I know they're building her up to go against Jordan, and she can't be Jordan. Like I wouldn't buy it with all the help unless I don't know. Maybe with Jesus, what the hell's her name? Her old tag team partner. Even with the bunny
I,
returning to help her, I think that's what they're setting up.
oh, Demon Bunny. Yeah.
She faces Jordan. The bunny returns. Demon Buddy, together they beat Jordan. That I can maybe buy. Rosemary,
But
in this shape of her career, I can't buy winning one-on-one against Jordan.
but sadly, Jay, I think from what you've been telling me different things, like it seems like she's really embraced the horror horror industry and like it really doesn't have any desire to step in between the in the squared
Oh,
circle.
oh, sorry. To be fair, we did just learn she just a movie that she was in is coming out very soon.
Oh, what's that? She
So I'm not
had
sure
the
about the title. It's on her Instagram. She put like a
oh
story.
okay.
But
Have
like
to
that was
look.
something I would always say to Robles and people like, listen, she might be doing a movie. Like they can't really say like, hey, I'm in a movie. Like when it's happening, they have to wait till it's over. I think sometimes. Like, who the hell? Like I
Yeah,
don't know. But
might add she was in a full moon movie as well too. So those
that's what I mean.
people.
She's doing like it's. You know what I mean? I think it's more like,
Yeah,
yeah, I want to return, but I don't want to just leave when I get called in front of that fucking movie. Which
yeah, and the paydays gotta pay a lot better than wrestling. You know what I
yes,
mean?
totally. And she loves it. She has a fucking horror YouTube channel. I don't want to give out the name because Gary has a much better one, which you'd also be listening to. But whatever, it's the Chinso Girls or something. Okay, I like the beginning mostly because Hammerstone won, but I also hate that Hammerstone is in the X division. I've always hated the size, fucking whatever. No
Yeah, and
limits,
with
whatever.
him, I think with him, Jay, it's even worse, more so because he's not a fast mover. I mean, he's very agile for the
Yes.
size of him, but he does slow down the division. And I mean, I already think Frankie Kazarian because I don't even really think Frankie anymore is really X division when I think
I
of,
agree. No,
you know what I mean? Like I feel like
no,
he's
he's a
slowed
great
down.
wrestler. He's a great wrestler, but he's not X.
Yeah,
X division is like Kushida, who they never fucking used right, and he's probably gonna leave
yeah,
soon. But
yeah, definitely. And I think there's a new age ultimate or X division out there, and I don't think like a Kazarian and Hammerstone would come to mind in the current
yeah, like you need to
concept
go
of it.
You need to go X-ier, if that makes
Yeah,
any sense. Like the world has gotten so crazy with like fucking Darby Allin and shit. Like you
yeah,
gotta do like nonstop crazy ass shit. I don't know. Like Casey Navarro. I don't know how good he is, but I would rather see him in the X division. Like, make it literally an X division. Like, stop with
I
the no
mean,
fucking weight limit thing. Like, it's stupid. And I have so many reasons for it. I don't like it being Hammerstone. Like, I want this dude in the fucking world champ mix. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, and then like I don't know, like where's Myron Reed and
Although
I mean
options, although
Jason
option C might still be a thing.
Jason Hotch is a more suitable. I mean, I know he was in a qualifier recently, but like at least that makes a little bit of sense because he's up and coming. He can, always improve upon his skill inside the for
Yeah.
X.
And then how
But
about some people who were getting no goddamn time for some reason or not enough?
yeah,
Well, sorry,
yeah.
Hammerstone won the opening match in 6 minutes. I do love his finisher. And then
Oh yeah, the
after,
nightmare pendulum.
yeah, cool finisher, but not for the whatever. And
Yeah,
then
no.
Kaz and Kushida rolled. I don't know, maybe they're setting up a match with those two. And then Eric Young got an interview, and I swear sometimes I forget Eric Young is still on the fucking
I think
roster.
yeah,
It's
I
so
think you're
crazy.
right. I think you're right about that. I think Kushida and Frankie Kazarian are getting
Yeah,
a pre-show match at Emergence out of
I was
this.
gonna say okay.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that graphic
so
somewhere.
Gia Miller talks to EY ahead of his match against Hammerstone next week. So Hammerstone already made the fucking thing. Why are these two even wrestling? Young wondered if Hammerstone would even make it to Emergence. Macklin interrupted to tell Young he was watching.
Well, I
Was
think they're
Macklin just going to take out Young?
I think this the whole story coming out of this matchup, Jay, is it's a first time ever. I guess that's a selling point for it. Like the two, it doesn't have a lot of like gel to it in terms of like making a lot of sense. But
Wait, which
I
one,
guess
Macklin or EY?
the Macklin and EY
Okay.
matchup for Emergent. So
I didn't know that was a thing yet.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, well, that'll be a good match for Mac. I mean, Macklin has to win, but like
yeah.
that's a great opponent for Macklin to beat.
But I mean, it kind of is telling too, because then like doesn't I think he said EY has a match next week against Hammerstone.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know what that's about,
You
especially
know,
since Hammerstone just won. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and what's that do for EY if he loses against Hammerstone again, and then you have him lose against?
I don't remember
Mac?
spoilers, but I'm just guessing that
Yeah.
that becomes like just bullshit and doesn't even happen really.
Well, and the thing is,
Um,
how much longer is EY going to be booked to lose, and he's just
yeah,
going to
he's
walk?
another one. Yeah, I mean he's another one. It's like
TNA,
I would always complain about when WWE did that. Like they brought back the Hardys, and like
Yeah,
I don't think they want to match. And they were like, oh, they're putting people over, and I'm like, fuck that, they're not. They look like jokes. It looks like they're too old and they can't win anymore. Like Eric
yeah,
Young has to come back, win a bunch of fucking matches, show he's still Eric Young, the fucking
yeah.
world class fucking top guy, maniac, whatever.
Well, and it's also he's a former world champion, so you don't want to make
To be
a
fair, he's another one who like keeps saying he'd love to go back to WWE.
oh,
So,
does he? Yeah, that makes
okay, and this is what this might be the biggest botch for TNA maybe recently. Mike Santana doing fucking promos for about what 2 months.
yeah,
I know everything about this dude already. I don't. It's like
yeah.
I hate when they overdo these fucking promos for people. They did it with Josh. And doing it with Santana. Like instead of like have him just kick ass. Let him be a psycho.
Well, and we were right. We were kind of right to a degree too. Last week we had mentioned it was kind of building to kind of a bit of a team. I guess Mike Santana and the Hardys and
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Joe Hendry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, are facing
I kind of feel like
the
he's the
system.
last. I feel like he's
So
easily the last part of that.
yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
the weakest link. If not to
Yeah.
make fun, just happens to be where he is. Um, Jordan cut a promo on Ash, and yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't know if I fell asleep. Okay, here's what I'm curious about. Where the hell did Laredo Kid come back from? I do not remember seeing any graphics where he was in this getting a title shot. I mean, being in these Ultimate X qualifiers.
Well, no, I think the last time we had seen him was when he had lost to Top Dollar, um,
Yeah, yeah,
losing
you're right. Yeah.
losing the X division or well
What was that? Beginning of the year?
media digital media championship.
What was like that was like the beginning of the year, right?
I don't know if that was. I think that might have been like maybe 2-3 tapings ago. But it,
Okay,
being
so
two
at least a
three
month
taping,
probably.
it's
Yeah.
probably like 5-6 months.
Again, I love Laredo Kid, but like
Yeah.
throw some videos of him. Like if you know he's coming and he's still part of the fucking roster, like throw a fucking Laredo Kid thing up there, instead of
Well,
5 minutes
don't
from
know why.
Santana every week. Like, we get it, Santana. We know.
Well, I mean, think of all the merch ideas you could have with the
Oh yeah,
Royal.
we
A
talk
lot of
about
kids
those
would.
all the time. It's got to be a fucking AAA thing where they just can't make money off. I don't
Well,
know.
and the thing is too, like the luchador wrestler is big wherever they go. There's always chance for the lucha, and it's like I don't know why we can't, maybe bring in a lucha division of some sort, to add it to the show to kind of fill the void with the lack of the knockouts
Pretty
right
much.
now.
Or that should be the X division. Just.
Yeah, or expand upon it.
But I mean, hey, listen, Laredo Kid got the win here. Great. That's a fucking X division guy. He beat Jay Vidal, who we pushed for a long time, and Bhupinder, who is also a wrestler. And okay, this was I swear to God, I must have watched half the show this week. I don't know. I've had terrible allergies, and I thought I watched enough highlights to catch up, but I totally missed this. Rich Swann backstage complaining to the referee about losing his qualifier last week. Bailey and Seven come by. Bailey offered Swann a championship match. Swann couldn't believe it, and the match is on.
Yeah, it's just,
And then ready. I know these are tapes. Sorry, this is Thompson. I know these are tape, but surely they could have captioned last week. You can't tell me Swann came to the show after his match last week, took off his shirt, and complained to the referee 7 days later.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is stupid. Okay, wait. So, oh, they made a fucking world title match for Swann.
Yeah, well, in coming out of this too, Jay, with
Oh,
Speedball backstage, he's like challenge, throwing it, letting him throwing a challenge down because
sorry,
he's a
that's what it was. Bill, yeah, sorry, not world championship.
fighting champion. But like
Yeah,
again, I have a problem with this week, unlike the first time. I mean, how much, how much should he have to fight? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, there's
no,
always
yeah,
that
relax, bro.
risk
Yeah,
that he could get hurt too. I mean, he didn't, but that's fortunate for the TNA roster. But like
yeah. I
that
mean,
could
I guess he can't be doing open matches like
yeah.
open challenges like Jordan. But I don't know. I don't like the whole like what Swan's
Uh,
pissed off in the back and you offer him a title match. Like you're too nice, or he should lose his title because of that. You know what I mean? Like he's too nice and he's an idiot and he gets
yeah,
screwed over. But whatever.
yeah.
I mean, now what? They're gonna cancel. They're gonna even show that match.
That's a good point. Yeah, like that would
Jesus
be
Christ!
this.
How much did Swan fuck up this last week of tapings? Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. This is the last week in Tampa, and then we're in where is it? Emergence is in. I don't know if I caught where they were going to be doing Emergence. Do you?
No, I'll check in a minute. Hang on. Non-title match. NXT's Charlie Dempsey versus Gresham. This is Now they should have made this for the title. Like, why the fuck not? It's Dempsey's NXT title. Gresham
Oh,
lost. You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
why would? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Gresham won. My bad.
oh. But Dempsey's got a title.
Yeah, Dempsey has an NXT title.
Oh, and
He's
then
like
they
a.
didn't even show it either. Like,
And they did say. I mean, I don't even know if it's called non-title or if Thompson
maybe
just
isn't
wrote non.
allowed to show it. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, that could be. Okay, so you didn't see it? Okay, that's interesting.
No, I don't. I don't think I see him wearing a belt.
I thought they announced it as champion, but okay.
Maybe.
Supposedly there was one person who yelled "boring" really loudly for a bit during the match.
Yeah, I mean, I
Sorry, that's
get
funny.
it, but like you have, like
I
I
don't
think
like
you
the
have.
style. I don't like Gresham's style. I never did. And
Yeah.
Christian says this is Christian says I think this will be the end of Gresham in TNA as he just signed as a wrestler and a coach for Memphis Wrestling. I knew about the wrestler.
Oh, did he?
Okay, I mean you know what? Listen, he was dead in the water the second that fucking mask thing. They just
Yeah.
said fuck it
Well,
with the mask thing.
I,
Like, why is
I'm
he
used.
winning here?
Yeah, I know. I don't. I don't. I didn't. I mean,
Well, sorry,
I
it is
guess
taped. It is taped ahead of time, and they didn't know. I guess.
Dempsey's kind of. He's a bit of a whiner here coming out of this match, though,
Yeah,
because he kind of.
I think he punched him after the thing, right?
Yeah, Grisham had kind of like reversed something, and it was kind of it could have went either way, and I don't know if they're trying to play
It's
him up
like
as a bit of
totally. I mean, you mentioned before, like Tina has bad luck. Like
yeah
Gresham is what one of the first people to beat an NXT person, maybe the only one other than Jordan, and now he's leaving. Like
yeah
it might as well have been Rich Swann, like with their luck. Fuck, man. They showed the Hardys
just can't,
backstage. Sorry, what'd you
I
say?
was just gonna say I just can't see why you'd leave TNA to go to Memphis Wrestling. No knock on
Yeah.
them, but
Well, they pulled
major
it. Oh, sorry. There were highlights from NXT where Joe Hendry became the #1 contender, which we talked about. Analysis: will they pull the trigger on Joe Hendry? My prediction is no. Josh Alexander will cost Hendry. See, that's what I thought. That was, but I don't know, man. Now that he's working with Scott, I feel like Scott is
Yeah.
AEW, unless it's just a one-time thing. I don't know. Or I don't know. Maybe W doesn't give a fuck. Um, wait, what did I miss
Yeah, and
here?
I wonder
Oh,
if
sorry.
that ain't into play, like hurt TNA's attendance just because it's another, indie promotion. Because TNA, let's face it, anymore, they're not a major promotion currently.
No, no,
Not to me.
they're with Ring of Honor
Yeah, they're, you know what I mean. They're like they're
and
top,
NWA.
but yeah,
Um, okay, next week they announced ready 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. And again, Thompson abuses that, and I totally agree. Like compared to this match, like Mike Bailey versus Swann, which I don't know if they're gonna cut. Jordan versus Ash, which a Knockouts Championship match right after what's his name. So it's 2 title matches. Like why? Right after Emergence, Eddie versus Santana, Hendry versus Myers, ABC versus Diener and something, Hammerstone versus Eric Young. Okay, so that's after. Oh my bad. That's after the pay per view. Wait, no, that's before the pay per view. We still got a Thursday, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Okay. And then Josh and Nemeth face off. Okay. Uh, main event: Hardys and Moose versus. Sorry, the Hardys versus Moose and JDC. Man, where the Hardys go? I guess they couldn't go to Canada, right?
I take it probably because of Jeff's past. No knock on him. I mean, he made some bad decisions, but he's had to live with it as well. So
It's weird to say. It's refreshing to see the Hardys back.
yeah. Oh, I
Super
was.
refreshing seeing this 70-year-old Hardys back. But I mean, like they just, I don't know, like the crowd's always this so fucking over. Like,
Yeah. As soon as that, well, I think originally that was just Jeff Hardy's theme, but I mean, it fits for both guys because they, both similar look. I think Jeff moves a little bit better in the ring than Matt, but
I think I forget how big Jeff actually is. Like,
yeah, I
just
don't know. It just
overall wrestling stars. I mean, living, he's probably one of the biggest.
and I mean, outside of Broken Matt's character, I mean, really, Jeff is the better character. I think, in my
Yeah, he's
opinion.
true. I used to
You
say all
know,
the time, Broken Matt didn't work when unless Jeff was standing there. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, he gave it the fucking whatever the
yeah,
word is, credence, whatever the word.
yeah. And the thing is, he doesn't even have to talk, and he's so
No, not at
over.
all. Exactly. Just his
You know what I mean?
presence. Just his,
Yeah,
like, I'll never forget it. Like I'll never forget it. Matt did not work in WWE, and like no one realized why. And I'm like, I kept saying, like, he needs fucking like put Jeff next to him, one of the biggest stars of all time. And it's like, yeah, it's basically Jeff. Like, yeah, I'm cool with this. You know what I mean? So like, and it's basically Jeff playing a #2 to Matt, which I don't know. I just think it's like respect. It's like everything, and like that. They never did that outside of TNA. So whatever. Hardys win. Fun ending. Yeah, Moose can lose. JDC. I like the fact that JDC lost. I think you got to get rid of him, and I think, well, not
I
they. I think,
definitely
I
thought
think,
him and Moose had pretty good chemistry as a tag team, though. Like they
yes.
controlled a good amount of the action in there, which I was surprised that I thought Matt and Jeff would kind of control things, but like there'd be chicanery and whatnot to keep.
Moose is great. I mean, I think he's become underrated, maybe. And
Yeah.
JDC is always, he was never bad at anything. He just
No,
usually had shit gimmicks.
oh yeah, like I don't know that gimmick, like with the Fandango thing. Like I remember WCW had something similar, the Maestro.
Oh yeah.
That was never big. I mean, the guy could go, but like you give these guys these really bad gimmicks, and it's hard for them to, ever escape that, negativity.
So yeah, they announced. So that makes a 8-man tag for Emergence. Wait a minute, who the hell won that? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The Hardys win the match. Then the system comes down, and then Santana and yeah, I think it was just Santana to make it. Yeah, or Santana and Hendry. Yeah. So that's a 4-way match for Emergence. The Hardys, Santana, and Hendry against the system.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, then we got an Iron Man match. Nemeth Josh. Then we got the Ultimate Act. Okay, who do you think? What do you think? Nemeth wins that? Fuck it, might as well do predictions fast.
What was the card? I didn't hear you say that.
Iron, Man match. Nemeth Josh.
I see. I see Nemeth retaining just because he just won it.
Yeah.
And
Plus, I mean, it kind of shits on him if he loses an Iron Man match of all things.
yeah, and I really don't know what's going to go on with Josh at this point. Like, is he going to stay the remainder of the 2024 year
Yeah.
and like ditch us in 2025? That's when I get that feeling.
I mean, God, they always book Josh so well. But yeah, I got to go with Nemeth. It's too soon, and it's called Emergence. I mean, Bound for Glory is coming. Like that's when the big shit has to happen. So, Ultimate X: Bailey versus Riley Osborne versus Hotch versus Hammerstone versus Laredo versus Wentz.
Wow.
I mean, I could see Hammerstone winning, but I think they're gonna. I don't know. I mean, well, we have heard Bailey might be leaving, so
Honestly,
I'll
I
go with
think
Hammerstone.
I would say possibly it will come down to like a Hammerstone thing, and something will get screwed over to where it screws him, and then he says like TNA's been nothing but going against him because he is a bit of an outsider coming from MLW. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like there's a story line where he'll come up
Yeah,
a
that could
little.
work, but I feel like he also needs a big win.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, like maybe
Thompson
catch.
mentioned how they fucked up not having him beat Josh, and I
Yeah.
totally agree. Oh my God, could not agree more. Josh did
Well,
not need that at all.
especially now that what we know, with him now working for Maple Leaf Wrestling and kind
Yeah.
of innuendos are there.
Hell, maybe Laredo Kid. Who the hell knows? He was a champion once. Guy almost fucking died. The System versus the Hardys. I'm going with the Hardy team.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say they kind of need it at this point because they haven't really. I don't think they've beaten the Systems, have they? Or
I don't. Well, the Hardys won the match tonight, but it wasn't like the whole system. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
a lot
that's
of
what I mean.
bullshit.
Like they've kind of been on the short end of the stick, and I kind of feel like in order for Santana to get some momentum and the Hardys to actually leave TNA on a positive note or whatever, if they're leaving here soon, that'd be.
Yeah.
Somebody had mentioned too. They mentioned something about possibly them being in the Hall of Fame. That's why they're sticking around this
Yeah, I've
year.
heard something like. Yeah, well, I've heard the same thing with WWE. Like
Oh,
they might be
wow.
getting offers from WWE to go into their Hall of Fame. So I don't know. Like Matt's been talking about a lot of like how we have like a lot of things to think about. And,
But then would WWE be pissed if we induct them before they do? So we don't need that.
yeah, no,
That.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's like they would talk and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Also, just want to let everyone know the WWE relationship is still happening. In case you listened to Scott Demore, who basically said everything was done by him. He picked up the phone. He got Jordan in the Rumble. Triple H called him like a few days later. The funny thing is, he's good friends with Triple H, right? He's
Yeah.
clearly friends with a lot of people in AEW. Why didn't anyone hire this genius? Who the
Yeah.
fuck has that answer, huh?
Oh yeah. And I mean, how many people were
How many
hired?
people said, "Oh, he's gonna work. This is gonna be a steal for AEW"? You know what I mean? I saw so many tweets like that, and I fucking just laughed.
Well, I mean, I find it funny too because like how many like Sanjay Dutt I think went to to WWE at one point, and then you got all these other former WWE or TNA guys that went
Oh,
there.
they would take anyone if they were smart.
Joseph Parks, but then Scott Demore doesn't get signed.
No, the smartest fucking guy, according to every fan, the greatest fucking booker, according to so many fans, couldn't get a job fucking anywhere else. Anywhere else at the big two, even though he's good friends with Triple H and
Yeah.
whatever. This whole fucking thing annoyed me. Okay, so what else do we have here? Macklin versus EY. Gotta be Macklin.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck shit
I
up if
gotta
Macklin
agree.
loses. PCO versus Cardona. Again, gotta be PCO or I will punch someone. And then Jordan and Spitfire versus Alicia and the Militia, which is pretty much every knockout. You know what I'd like to see in that match? All the other knockouts come out.
Yeah.
Tasha and fucking whoever else, like the ones that are left, and it's be like, what the fuck is this? that's,
I mean,
that's
I
that's the
think
whole
I
match.
know I think I know a good way to kind of make them really good though, like to get them kind of the knockouts back on the map. I mean, to end the year on a high note, like maybe have this like woman faction be at ringside and like
Oh, now you're
hijack
talking. Now you're talking me and Robles language.
hijacking the show and then like just standing tall in the ring like
Oh,
who
that'd be
are
so
these
great.
You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
got
Just
like
kind of,
four men, three or
kind
four
of,
masked women.
yeah. You know what I mean? Kind of like, I don't know. I don't think we've ever done anything that big with the knockout. So,
I can't think of masked women in wrestling.
well,
Like,
wait, we did do something similar to that with Tara. She came in on a motorbike, and
oh
we
yeah,
didn't
okay,
know.
yeah.
But
But I'm
outside of that,
saying,
was
yeah,
one.
I
Yeah.
think we're both saying all masked.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bit of a female aces and eights of sorts, but not that gimmick of course.
just checking out if any news on Twitter, Emergence pre-show, post-show. They did their thing again where they posted Will Ospreay, who went head to end with Eddie Edwards at Newcastle during Turning Point. Pretty funny. I like when they do that. Like that makes okay. Well, maybe the holy shit. Is that the first time they did it?
Yeah.
That's an AEW, and this is what I literally asked them to do this on Twitter. I was like, you guys, I'm like, it looks dickish if you're doing this to WWE. Like they would always do this when it was a WWE match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they would like kind of troll the match, and I'm like, just do it with AEW. You'll get a lot more fucking views based on people fucking hating. I think a lot of TNA fans dislike AEW and whatever. Plus AEW fans just would want to see that match. Like, oh look, Will Ospreay took on Eddie. That's cool. Let me check that out. And I
Oh,
think that's. Sorry,
oh,
go
I
ahead.
just had a little bit of something before we go. Remember the former wrestler or the former referee? We used to have Allison Lee, I think her name was. She was a
The
blonde.
blonde.
Yeah, I heard that she recently, I don't know, she had some health issues going on, and she's kind of stepped away from being the referee for TNA, and I guess she's trying to focus now on the Twitch, her Twitch channel. So I don't know if she kind of lost her inspiration for being a referee because of her health, but she's in a bad place. We're all pulling for her to get her life back in order.
Okay, interesting. Also, Tessa Blanchard says time isn't right for a big return. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just found a quick thing with Ace Steel. I'm cutting my chops more and more as a producer. I produce for other companies, starting with WWE, giving me training ground, blah, blah, blah. I worked with a guy, Mustafa Ali, when I was dipping out of wrestling, so it's a little full circle. Same with Joe Hendry. Hendry and I were slammed together, and it's a great union. Lo and behold, the man has finally hit and caught steam. He's one of the most over guys that exist at the moment, so interesting. It
Yeah, and
might
we
be
haven't
partially due
seen
to Ace Steel.
him in I think
Oh,
the last time was he saying stuff to Mustafa? I can't remember. I remember him having some
yeah,
bickering with some.
he just said it was
Or
friggin'
no, Kazarian, that's what it was.
yeah. Well, he said he was working with Mustafa and friggin' what's his name? That's pretty crazy. Jesus,
Oh yeah.
two
Well, I
those are like
mean,
the
it
two most
explains.
over guys. Jesus, Mustafa and Hendry. Like who is better than Mustafa? Like nobody.
Oh yeah, I mean, if that's true, I mean, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, throw some money at Ace Steel, we'll get the
Yeah,
kind of input with the whole product as a whole. Like
give
maybe,
him the knockouts.
yeah, put him in charge
Um,
of.
Mike Bailey isn't interested in option C. Okay, just so that while scrolling around. But he
Oh,
wants to
okay.
hold the X Division title and TNA World title simultaneously. Damn. Big dreams, buddy. Big dreams. Not happening.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, okay. And I guess that's about it for this week. Check out Gary's channel, which I usually have at the beginning of these linked. You're welcome, Gary, for all the extra views you're getting. And that's
Yeah,
it. Go watch the new Alien movie. It's pretty good.
yeah. I didn't actually mind the new Crow either. I know it gets bashed,
Oh,
but
I
I
heard
did
that got
watch.
worse. Heard that got the worst reviews ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just it was really violent, so I don't know. Maybe that's why I liked it so much. I don't know. Kind of like the newer Punisher, but
Oh yeah,
probably.
yeah. No, I was with you on that. It was people hated it because it was like too much, but like Jesus, he's called the fucking Punisher. Yeah, I want to see him shooting people's heads literally off.
Yeah. So
Alrighty, we'll be back with Emergence next week. Getting tired of doing these goddamn weekly episodes, but that's what we do. Okay, that's it. I thought I had something good there at the end, but no. Catch you next time, people. Can't find the stop record button.